Welcome to this week's episode, Real Life TV. This is
Trisha Harvey.
And my name is Mark Harvey. Yeah. So what is it that excites you the most about Q&A sessions? Come on.
I like it because it's random. Like, people can ask anything. Like, it's all fresh information, like what's going on right now for people. So challenges that they're facing.
Property investing Q&A is in the house, in town, Real Life TV, right away, right now. So we've had some questions being sent in to us. People wanted us to answer these questions. Now, look, I think we're going to read the ones out that have been sent in, but there are some people who asked some very kind of like early stages in their property journey things. I would recommend to those people, go and subscribe if you're not already to Real Life Group on YouTube, because there are many things like what we've been asked, what is a HMO? Yeah, what are the benefits of HMO? Why invest in HMO? How to find areas, all things like that. That's already on YouTube. Go and do that. Also go to reallife-group.com, where there's many resources that you can get for free on how to raise money, on how to get started. There's like ebooks on there, there's online courses, and there's links to many other case studies to give you the belief and empower you that it can be done. So here's the first question. Someone was asking, what is Article 4?
So Article 4 is basically something that gets brought in to a specific area with the council, which just basically means if it's not an Article 4 area, you can buy a normal residential house that is a C3 class for residential use, and you can change it into an up to 6-person HMO, which is then a C4 class under permitted development, which means you don't need planning permission. For up to 6 people, you can just change it. 6 rooms or 5 rooms, you can do that under permitted development. In an Article 4 area, so an area that has been given an Article 4 directive or direction, means that if you're going to have more than 3 persons in a property, and therefore be letting it as a HMO for 3 or more unrelated individuals, you will need to obtain planning permission to have it changed via an 8-week generally planning application. And once you get that through, you are really going to have a very nice, valuable asset. And also Article 4, a lot of people are afraid of it, and they avoid those areas and think that it means no. It absolutely does not mean no. It just means it's harder in those areas. But if you do your due diligence and I can't express the importance of having an amazing power team. If you are going to invest in an Article 4 area, of which we have 3 that we invest in, and we are doing it very successfully. And as of yet, I think in our entire tribe, so in the Real Life tribe, so including our own deals plus the Real Life tribe, I think there's only 2 that haven't got planning permission in the last 3 years. So really, really successfully doing it. And the only difference with what we're doing, and obviously I know a lot of controversy out there to saying not to invest in those areas, is to have an excellent team. So your architect and planning agent are literally key for this, because people sort of say, well, yeah, but I'm spending money then on working with these individuals and getting them to do plans for me, etc. When you're putting a planning application in to change the use, you're going to have to show them how the property is going to be structured from what it is now to what it's likely to be at the end, if you're planning on changing it into a HMO, because they want to make sure that it adheres to all the licensing standards and also the amenity guides. So they want to know exactly what it is you're proposing. So you're going to need plans anyway. So in our experience, we're working with somebody that is an architect and also a planning agent. So not only do they do the plans for us, but then they know how to deal with the planning officers at the council, work with them, build a relationship. They may already have one if they already work in that area. So that would be an exceptional thing that I would advise. If you're going to work with a planning agent or an architect, try to work with one that's got experience within the area. Now, it's not essential if they know what they're doing, but if you can get somebody that has experience with the existing council as it is, Then all I do when I'm looking for properties is I send my property to him and say, look, I'm about to have an offer accepted on this, because that's how I do it. I don't make the offer until I'm like, I'm gonna have this. I'm always a win orientated person. And then I just say, is this likely to get through in your opinion? Now, it's only opinions that I'm looking for at this moment. He'll check his magical portals online and then get the answer to say, yes, in this area, it's not very concentrated for HMO currently, so it looks like we should be okay. And then sometimes once I've got my offer accepted, we'll then ring the council, speak to them, again, existing relationships with the planning agent, or you just start to build one yourself if you've not got them already. And then you say, look, how likely do you think this is to go through planning? So lots of factors come into this. But again, as Mark said, we have a video explaining Article 4 investing on YouTube as well. So check that out on the Real Life Group page on YouTube. But it is all about relationships. So to identify what is an Article 4, it just means you have to obtain planning permission if you intend to have 3 or more unrelated individuals staying in a property as a HMO. You have to obtain planning, but it also means you've got a very valuable asset and very good investment for yourself.
Awesome. And then how funny is this that somebody else on live right now is saying, how easy is the process from getting accepted to putting in planning permission in Article 4?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I think, yeah, but at the same time, everything that you just said about Article 4 as well, you got to remember, like, this is what real life is all about as well, is you just got to do the right thing for the right reason. So don't go into any situation thinking that you got to, you know, be underhand or brag or come up with any stories or anything like that. Just say it as it is, do it as it is. Know that you're adding value to people's lives. Like Harvey Property Solutions Group, our property side of the businesses, the mission is to raise the standard of living, providing luxury secure accommodation. So like we go out and take all the action and behave in a way that's going to contribute to living to that mission. Yeah. So like being able to provide luxury secure accommodation, a large part of it right now is HMOs. So being able to talk to planning consultants, architects, bring it all together, go into places where other people might not want to because they've heard that don't do it or nobody gives you planning or whatever, because maybe they go in with the wrong intention. Maybe like that the Article 4 is in there in the first place because they want to not put one type of property, like too much of that type of property in that particular area, because it attracts a certain type of tenant and creates a lot more activity in that area, because you got, you know, a few people living in one what was designed for just like maybe a family maybe in the beginning. Especially some of the houses, I mean, some of the places around here, I don't know, we used to work on them even when I left school. I didn't even know it was a HMO then. Yeah, but there's some of them are like 20, 25 bedrooms across 4 floors, you know. So like what once was a family house is now being used by many more occupants. So when you can bring awesome accommodation and you're attracting, you know, people who are respecting the building and respecting the place and respecting the area, then again, it is all about, it's all like, I mean, you might call it karma, but at the end of the day, when you are adding such value to society, then it will pay you back.
Yeah, because that's right. It's all about the intention, because our relationship with the council, planning officers and HMO officers is that, now we have a understanding that they know our properties are of an extremely high standard, and that what we're doing in the area is actually raising, like we were in the paper in one of our areas because they said this is exactly the kind of landlord that we want in our council, you know, because of the type of standard that we provide for our tenants. Not only that, like the neighbours are really happy with our tenants as well because they are working professionals. But it's not just about that, because you have to start somewhere. And if you don't have the experience in these types of areas to begin with, then yes, you have to start from the ground up. But we started from nowhere as well. And all you have to do is have the right intention, like Mark said, and start somewhere. Pick up the phone and start dialing, start ringing around the council officers and the HMO officers and start to understand from their perspective what it is they truly want. Because in Article 4, when it's brought in, it's because in a particular area, or maybe the entire area, they had an over-intensification of HMO and therefore maybe a lot of complaints and objections from neighbours and things like that. So then they put an Article 4 over a specific area to say, right, we need to stop people just making a HMO without consent because it's causing us too many issues. Now, when that Article 4 was put in, so ask them, how long ago was that put in? Have you analysed the data since? Because in some of our areas, it was brought in 2012. Now the situation and the housing crisis is so much worse than it was back then. So now they're actually encouraging adding more into the area, but only in certain areas, again, just to make it more widespread so that it's not so intensified. They don't just want a couple of streets that are just loads of HMOs. It's like creating a bad area.
Yes, it is. So if you want your questions answered live right now on this session, then type it in the comments and we're going to get to that. Let's go to the next question that was sent in to us, which is, how much money do I need to get started in property investing?
How much money? Zero. We didn't use any of it. In fact, it's a funny story. So if you want a story, #story. When we started, we went to a free training to learn like a little bit of information about doing it properly, property investing, developing. And Mark found it and it said with no money down. And I was like, what a load of crap.
Yeah, I thought it was as well.
Yeah.
But that's why I went, because I was like, let me go and see. Let me check.
Prove them wrong.
No, it wasn't about proving them wrong, because like I only had was it an hour? I think I came across it at an hour before it started. I was like, look, I'm spontaneous. Trish is always telling me I'm not spontaneous. I'll show you spontaneous. I'm going to go to this training. I've got 1 hour to get there. It's half an hour away. So I literally had half an hour to get ready, half an hour to get there, got there. And information was that apparently you can invest in property with none of your own money.
But the awesome thing about it was that we were like, okay, we need to learn to do this properly then, because we really can make a business out of this. So then what happened was we changed our way of thinking. We read the Rich Dad Poor Dad book by Robert Kiyosaki, which was absolutely a game changer. So hashtag Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you haven't read it already, I would definitely advise doing it. It's a great read. And it just basically changed our way of thinking from assets and liabilities. He talks about something called assets and liabilities, where the asset is something that makes you money, a liability is something that costs you money. So then what we did to build our investment journey, we sold all of our liabilities, and we sold my car that I was just obsessed with, and it was my baby, but we sold it and we were like, right, that will give us enough to do one deal. And then, once we've done that, we'll have experience, we can find investors, we'll do more. So then what happened was we went so full in, because we're all in people, we do all in to win. And we went from having one deal accepted, which would have given me half of the amount of money. So that first deal that we had accepted was giving me half the money that I needed to be able to leave my job. So we knew 2 of these deals meant I was out already. And then we decided, after going to Tony Robbins' Unleash the Power Within, again, awesome training. If you've not been, then definitely advise going there as well. But once we've been there, I came back and I left my job. So because he was like, burn the boats and all of that. And it was awesome. And I was like, do you know what is holding us back? Like, the time was really tough. Mark was working 90 hours a week. I was working 50 hours a week.
Yeah, but I was loving it.
We had 2 children.
You wasn't loving it.
I wasn't. I hated my job. Well, I didn't hate it. I enjoyed it.
I'd convinced myself that that's what I was going to do for the rest of my life.
Yeah, you
loved it.
You really loved it,
I would rather stab a fork in my eye before I go back.
Yeah, but I think that what you loved about it was because you love coaching and training people, and there you got to train, you got to design programs to do that and all of that.
Yeah, I got to. I think I just decided I was.
Yeah. So it was exercising that part of you that's natural, that you enjoy.
Yeah.
So
I've thought of it like that.
So yeah. So when I then left my job, 6 weeks later, we had another 6 deals accepted. So we'd still got the one that was originally accepted that we were dealing with, but it was a bit of a challenging one because it was a repossession. So
you can actually go back and watch the video. It's called 666.
Because it was six deals in 6 weeks, over 600,000. So what happened was we had these 7 deals, and then I was like, oh my God, we only have enough money for one. So because of all the activity and being out there online and showing integrity, a lot of investors were interested in working with us because they were like, these guys are good, you know, they're doing what they say they're going to do. And all we'd done was being open online and sharing value for people. Then we said, right, we need some money. We've got this deal, this deal, this deal, this deal. Anyway, what happened was we raised over £650,000 of investor finance in less than 10 days, which meant we didn't just have the money for the 6 deals, we had money for all 7. And I didn't intend to use investor money for the first deal because, like we said, we sold our car and our liabilities to pay for that. But what had then happened, because we raised so much money, we got investment funds for all of them, and we still not used our own money to this day. It's awesome.
And if you want to learn the 6 best kept secrets to raising joint venture and investor finance, it's literally a very unique and simple method that has raised at the time that program was put together.
That was ages ago.
It raised over £12 million. But now, because so many people in Real Life Tribe are using it, we need to do another calculation. But it's over 20 million. So if you want to use a very simple, proven to work method that's about doing the right thing for the right reasons. So it's called the 6 best kept secrets. There is really no secret to it. It's just about being open, honest, and following the process and the steps to add value to other people. And that's why people want to work with each other and make money and get rich together. So if you want to do that, you can actually go to reallife-group.com and get that. But it's also
6 best kept secrets.
Yeah, just raising money. It's awesome. it's out
awesome.
there. If you want it or you can't find it, just message Real Life Group on Facebook asking for it. That's the best way to do it. Look, we want to give away for free better value, better training, better material than what other people charge for. Not that is any kind of like ego thing, but it's just like a benchmark.
Have you got some of the things that I was reading earlier?
What's that?
From the event?
Yeah.
Oh wow! There was this comment.
Somewhere.
There was this comment that this guy, because this is a free event. Bear in mind, Real Life Property Wealth. This
for
guy
your first
said,
time, it's free.
Yeah, for your first time attending, it's a free event. This guy said, in the 1,352 weekends I have been alive, this is the most.
This has been the most transformational.
This has been the most transformational weekend of my life. Now I believe I can achieve anything. Thank you, Real Life team. Or so, it was amazing.
Yeah, something like that.
The guy worked out how many weekends he'd been alive. I thought that was really impressive.
So hey, listen, if there is any more questions that you want, then let us know. But did we answer that previous question? How much money do you need? Yeah, you don't need any money. You don't need any money. I mean, we're just speaking to a guy who's looking to join the tribe, and he's selling his business. He's going to have close to 7 figures. I mean, that's great. That's great that you have that money. But even he realized that money will soon be gone if you want to scale. Now, if you want to scale and you want to do that, some of the guys that have done in our tribe, some of our real life results coaches who are also investing in property themselves, like over £5 million property portfolio, over £4.7 million property portfolio. Some people are earning £15,000 net passive income a month. Some people are £10,000. Some people are selling millions of pounds of houses, from building them new builds.
Somebody has raised in under 2 years over 1.2 million in investor finance and is now moving across to a different country to live her dream with her family.
So
but that leads me into a different question. So another question that came in. So you're saying one of the tribe members is selling his business. It's going to make 6 figures. It's awesome. People were saying, so I have this much money in the bank account, like maybe a couple of 100,000 or so. Should I buy this deal so that I don't have to pay for bridging and all that kind of thing? So the question is, do I go for it cash so that I don't have any expenses and whatnot, and then go on to the next deal once I've made profit? Or should I leverage? They say, like, should we leverage that money? So just in our opinion, at your very beginning in your journey, you can either, yes, say you need 160,000 to 200,000, and that's what you have for a deal. You can obviously put all of that into it and not need bridging or anything like that, or investor finance. So therefore, it's 100% return to you. But remember, at that point, how is your money working for you? Like, yes, you might have an incredible ROI, but what about you split that money into 2 or 3 or even 4, depending on the deals that you're working on. And then you create 4 by leveraging and using the banks or other people's money alongside of it. And then instead of just 1 deal, you have 4 or more. That's the joy about it. So I personally find leveraging, utilizing investor finance, utilizing the bank's money, working with bridging and things like that is what has enabled us to scale so rapidly, like absolutely out of this world quick. So a lot of people say to us, like, this is crazy how fast we did it. We became financially free in under 12 months. So we started investing in January 2017. I was out of my job by the June 2017, and I was free by just 2 of the 7 deals that we had. Mark then was out in December 2017. So it's really, really fast for us. And the only way that we did it was leveraging and utilizing the resources around us, such as the banks, bridging, and investor finance. So you've got to look at it like, what is going to make me money? Remember, we were talking just before about Rich Dad Poor Dad. What is an asset? What is a liability? You know, you could use all of your money in 1 deal, but equally, we want to spread the risk. We want to utilize all the assets that we can by, like, if 1 deal comes up with a challenge, at least this deal will bail it out. You know, things like that. Like, for example, with down values, things like that. So there's a lot of challenges that are happening for people all over the country right now with down valuations on their commercial financing and things like that. Now, have you experienced the down value? So hashtag down value if you've experienced one. We have managed to have a formula to overcome this, and very, very successful it is across any area in the UK right now with the tribe. So the way that we go through it is that we managed to get, so for example, 1 deal, we had a valuer come out to the property, valued it at 245,000. Right, so we had bought the property for 180,000, and we spent 62 on the refurb and costs. So you do the math. So I was like, "Oh, you're joking!" At 245,000, and this was a beautiful asset that was generating us 37,000 per annum in income. So I was like, how on earth is that a commercial valuation? Anyway, 3 weeks later, because I don't take no for an answer and I do anything to find a solution, a new valuer came out and valued it at 365,000. So look at that. Just in 3 weeks, we gained another 120,000 on the property value, which it should always have been valued for that. But, you know, if you weren't in the know, and a lot of people aren't, and that's why they think it can't be done, because it's not that it can't be done, it's just you've never done it, or people that you know have never done it. So they don't understand how the method works. And, you know, the valuers want to talk to you. You know, they have to provide proof and information as to why their report means that it's worth this. So there's nothing that is untrue going on. It's just, this is an asset. Is the person coming to the property astute to give you this type of valuation that you're requesting? And if they're not, obviously you want to use a different valuer. That's it. Absolutely don't take no for an answer. So in my original, the question was, in my opinion, what's made us go from 0 to over 8 million in our own portfolio in under 2.5 years using none of our own money, and in the last almost 3 years, we've collectively built a portfolio of over 11.5 million, which includes our project management sites that we've managed from picking up the keys at completion to doing the refinances and having them fully let.
Can I just say what's cool about that? Hold that thought so you don't forget. Because what we realized when we was reviewing some of this things earlier is the learnings and the experience that get added, which is great, because all the people within real life and you know, the people who are seeking out information on the coaching, the mentoring, oh my goodness, from doing other people's projects as well as your own projects. You learn so much.
Oh my God, so
because you also get a lot of different perspective as well, a different thinking, because everybody thinks different, because the thinking that everybody has got them to where they are. So it's very good for the experience.
So just ask yourself what the outcome is, because if you are happy with just doing one deal every now and again to make a little bit of profit, then yeah, putting all your cash in to maximize and not have bridging costs, etc., would be fine. But if you want to scale quickly and create passive income for yourself and make your money work harder for you, then look into leveraging investor finance and banks, because then you could grow. And like we said, you could have one deal or you could have 4+ deals. So just look at why you're doing it in the first place, and then that will help you find an answer.
So Zima's just asked, when you use a different valuer, will it be the same lender, or do you need to change the lender too? So I know you got an answer for that, but I just want to add to that question. It's like, wouldn't it be like, if you were going to stick with the same lender, wouldn't it be like contesting it?
Yeah. So what happens with a down valuation is you've got.
Who said anything about valuation? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, we were talking about a second ago. But what generally happens is you have a couple of options. You can either appeal it. So that's the first thing. So the first thing is your broker should be a proper commercial valuer if that's your intention for the deal. So if you want to go from a 3-bed residential house to a 7-bedroom, all en suite, commercially valuable HMO, you should have a commercial broker that you're working with. Again, the importance of your power team is absolutely essential. And we go through all of that sort of stuff on a 4-day program called Property Wealth Turbo. We really go into the nitty gritty about Article 4 and power team building and how to get the right team, trust them, have a code of honor working with us. Amazing. But essentially, they should go back with like an email as to how has this been broken down, blah, blah, blah. If it's ridiculous, like mine was, 245,365 3 weeks later, we weren't in a position to appeal because it was so big of a difference. The difference in the valuation was too big. So appealing would have been pointless, because if that valuer had to re-look at it and bring it up 120,000, he would have probably been fired. So what we found out was actually the valuer that came just wasn't a commercial valuer. He was valuing it on a residential bricks and mortar value, which was not actually what we asked for. So in this particular circumstance,
and can I just give a definition, an example of that?
Yeah.
So for what we did, this one property, I think it was a 3-bedroom, the one at Dar Road at the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a 3-bedroom. It was only 3 bedrooms.
It was a 3-bed.
It was a 3-bed. We turned it to 6-bed HMO. And when the first valuer came round, she was like, in the report, so it was a down value. How much was the down value? 100,000 down value. And part of the report was the fact that it was near an airport. So it would be a less desirable area. Now check this out. In our due diligence, the only reason we bought the property at the price and was going to do this deal is because it was near the airport. So how can then it be down value because it's near an airport? Because that's the difference between a residential way of looking at things, like a family home type style, versus, you know, a commercial property, which the people from the airport were going to stay in.
That's it.
You know, so this is what I love about commercial aspect of everything, lending, valuing, and all the rest of it. No, they take common sense, and they'll have a conversation with you. That's what I like about it. You know, everyone is regulated and all the rest of it. I get all of that, but some of the residential stuff is too textbook, isn't it?
But that's where we have methods and formulas that we use, that we go through in all of our trainings on how to identify this before it becomes a problem, you know. And then even if you've done all that and you still get an anomaly person that does value it wrongly, again, there is always a solution. So in some cases, Zima, we did go to a different bank. So yes, we had to pay an extra £1,300 for a different valuer to come out for the different bank, because we had to start the process again. In my eyes, totally worth it, because we made 120,000 in 3 weeks because of spending an extra £1,200-1,300. Totally worth it. So, and that was probably what other people are not willing to do, because they're thinking, but what if the other valuer says it's not worth that as well? So they don't want to take the risk. That's fine. But because I was so confident in my due diligence, my numbers, and my business model, I did whatever it took. And I would spend another 10 grand in fees, doing more and more and more and more.
Yeah, you say that every time, but here's the thing as well.
Because I'm not taking no for an answer.
Yeah, okay, you keep saying that as well. But like the thing is, it's like people then get worried, and I hear it all the time. Oh, but what about if you're over leveraging and something happens and you can't sell it? I mean, number one, if you're doing something properly, why would you ever need to sell it if it's making you money when you do nothing?
Yeah, like our assets, we have no money left in. So
I'm going to kill my goose? No, I don't think so. That's number one. But number two as well, you don't always have to leverage the full amount that is, just because you get 400 on a valuation doesn't mean you have to take 75% of it. Doesn't even have to mean you take 60% of it.
We were talking.
You can take 50%. You actually get better rates if you take less loan to value. So look, there's some people out there that might not understand. And when I say might not, I mean do not understand what it takes to be creative in this life. If you want to read from a textbook when it comes to the way things are done, shame on you. Yeah, and have fun if you possibly can. Because what we like to do is we like to do it in a fun way. We like to do it with a lot of other people as well, so we can all have fun together, because it's awesome. What's that thing as well? Power in numbers. So the power in numbers. So we're changing, lives, families, creating more time, generating more money, more in the economy. Banks can still lend, and the people like us and the people we train, they're always paying the bank back. So there's no defaulting, because the strategy is awesome. It's built to last. It's flexible. It can change. It can withstand up market, down market, because there's diversity, and there is.
That's another thing about having multiple deals.
Yeah, multiple deals. And oh my goodness, are you guys going to have fun watching Come Deal With Me? So this is going to be a TV program. It's a series where there's going to be a group of people battling it out, doing some challenges. So it's all going to be very entertaining, very awesome. We believe that the process that we went through has found the people who they said they were going to do whatever it takes. And we're about to find out, and we will find out within the first couple of episodes. So obviously, you guys won't get to see that until it's all put together, but it's going to be awesome. But this whole concept is going to take all of these Q&As, everything that we got on YouTube and all this other stuff, the things we do in our program, we're going to put it in action on how to find deals, how to go through all these steps, how to deal with all the problems and challenges. Everything is going to be recorded. There's nobody else doing out there. And it's the first time you heard it on real life TV. Come Deal With Me. So it's where people are going to battle it out. There's going to be one person that wins, come deal with me, and then we go and deal with them, because they won. And that means we're going to take them through the whole project, all the challenges, all the issues that may come up, and how to build in contingency, prepare for the unexpected of what might happen, and Brexit and the market and upside and down valuations, and how to deal with all of that. Because that, if you ask me, is the real deal.
Absolutely.
If everything goes well, I'm sure even Trisha by herself would be able to figure it out without me, if everything's going well. But when shit hits the fan, she always passes the phone to me for some reason. No, okay. Used to. Not anymore. Why? Because she's trained. She's my number one student. And everyone watching this knows that. True. She didn't deny it. Okay, good. So look, is there any more questions? Because, listen, I know you real life tribe people, you have your...
mastermind.
You have your mastermind tonight, 8 o'clock. Your things are going to be in there. Your code to get in, your secret code. It's true. Yeah, your secret code to get in there. You know where it is. If it's not in your email, it's in the secret group that you have. Yeah, so awesome. Get on there, brainstorm, create that mastermind get over any challenges, answer any questions, any situations that you might have. Oh, in fact, I think it's a mentoring this week as well, I believe. I think it's a mentoring. Yeah, it is also. So you got that to look forward to later in the week. See, look, there's so much value. There's so much value. If you want to succeed, you've got to do it in the tribe, which is the real life tribe.
If you want to know about joining the tribe and being part of this, getting awesome level 1,000
message
coaching,
real life
mentoring,
group.
just put hashtag join tribe.
Yeah, do that too, but also
like message the real life group, and we'll get a call booked in and we will move you forward in your amazing journey or get you started. It'll either be explode where you currently are, get you started from nowhere. Brilliant. Bring it on.
Yeah, and also something else. There's something else.
You sound like Sienna Rose.
There's a real life awards happening. Let me tell you what that is. That is where we celebrate the success of the tribe. Oh my God, there's nothing more fun I can think of right now than celebrating the success, the success. Yeah, the success of all the people. The success of your own success, other people's success, because success breeds success. So let's celebrate it. Let's highlight it. Oh my God, we got some amazing awards. Some of you may not even realize that you're going to win an award, but awards are given to people who are achieving greatness. And greatness is in the money, it is in the rewards, it is in building the portfolio, but there are some other traits and characteristics that are absolutely essential to creating success, not just for yourself, but your family and other people as well. So we're going to celebrate that. So it is a tribe thing, but if you have been a part of an event, but you're not in the tribe because you just came to the event, or you've been following and you got an interest in real life and you kind of like the way we do things, which is produce results, if you like to produce results. No, because there's some people that don't. I mean, they say they want to produce results, but they don't do what it takes to produce results. They just keep sniffing around, going from free thing to free thing. And that's fine. I don't have anything against that. But if you want the real deal and you want the real life experience, then you contact us. You message us on Real Life, and we'll see what happens. This is a tribe thing, and you'll meet some so awesome people.
Oh, this is so amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Oh my God, it's going to be so much fun. Oh, fun, really fun property investment. Real life, really fun. Real life, real fun. Real fun, real business, real estate. Do the right thing for the right reason, guys. That's the only way to discover your true potential. It's been amazing. Love to you all. Merry Christmas. Listen, I was wearing my Santa's hat. When did we do the event? The beginning of November. And that's okay, guys, because you need to get to a place where you can celebrate anything, anytime, anywhere with anybody.